Greyshot17
and Greyshot151 here.
and today we are reviewing a movie called The Meg.
Yes.
Starring Jason Statham.
Statham, yes.
And this is a co-production between the American Film Company
with the China, yes.
Yes. So it's distributed by Warner Brothers, and this film is kind of interesting. It's been in like hiatus for like a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, it's also based on a book, and apparently a lot of people have been trying development for even longer than that.
Yeah.
Like it's been like one of those like kind of like have you ever heard of The Crow?
Yeah.
Like how they keep trying to make a reboot, but it never works. Apparently,
Don Quixote.
Yeah, apparently or Mad Max Fury Road to an extent, but they kept trying to make this movie, and they finally got it to release. And so by opening box office, it seems to be doing pretty well for a movie that was through a lot of hell. It's doing better than Duke Nukem for games, I'll say that.
Yeah. Here's my stance on this film. Right now, if you go to a review site, you could see that it's not doing that well. I think it's mixed would be best case scenario.
Yep.
However, we saw this film.
Yes.
And without taking into account all the reviews, we really enjoyed it.
Yeah, this was one of the biggest surprises of the year for me.
Yes.
And we should give the caveat.
We kind of went into this blind. We're like, okay, we're hearing mixed things about it, but like I wasn't like going on reviews and checking to see what's wrong. I was like, okay, let's see how this film is.
I was also going to put the caveat that we've watched literally hundreds of monster movies throughout our life. Like, we're talking like actual monster, not Freddy, not Jason. Those aren't monsters. Those are supernatural whatevers. We're talking about a creature that attacks people and you have to deal with it. That's a monster movie.
Check out our Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah Kaiju in Review, episode 1.
Our new series coming out.
Yep.
But yes, for The Meg itself, you have Jason Statham basically trying to stop a giant prehistoric shark. And honestly, it was great through and through.
Yes.
Like, it was really, okay, maybe not great, but it was really, really, really good.
Yes.
The dramatic moments
actually did quite well, which is shocking.
Especially the opening sequence. Like, I actually was like, this is intense. This is like a thriller.
The child actor wasn't annoying. She was actually really
funny.
Good. The supporting cast had unique traits and personalities, and they even had some like touching little emotional moments.
All the characters, yes, they're not the most. Yeah. They're not three-dimensional, but Sherlock Holmes-like characters.
They're there for a specific reason, and they fulfill that purpose.
Not only that, but you don't hate them. Like most monster movies, you learn to hate this cast. Like there are like, oh, it's the rich snob guy. Oh, it's this character. Oh, it's that character. Oh, you hate him. But this one, even like, there's a billionaire,
Rainn Wilson, aka Dwight from The Office, and
he's fantastic.
He's great because he plays a billionaire of this ocean research.
He's a billionaire. He's funding station. This, and he comes in, and he seems like this smug, to pick a better word, asshole. Yeah. For lack of a better term, but no, he comes in. He's yelling. I won't say yelling at people. He's like making comments like, "Oh, looks horrible. This design is off.
What I want that big grand entrance. Where's that?"
Yeah, exactly. He's like just making these little caveats. But he does have some good lines, and he's not... Yeah. There are moments that show he has more depth than just being...
Sprinkled in this movie, there's actually some good writing and some good moments. There's some really dumb moments in this movie, don't get me wrong. But there's actually some good lines, and I'm like, huh. Jason Statham has a couple, then you also have, again, Rainn Wilson with a few, and they even adapt to cliches. It knows what it is, and it'll play on the trope. For example... a great one would be the fact of Rainn Wilson's character. And I'll go into that more spoiler, but you don't expect this guy to be the mayor in Jaws or something along that, where you see in a lot of 70s and 80s films where it's like this main political person that has a lot of power is the villain and trying to stop the hero. It plays out differently and actually in a really interesting way, and I like that. And I also liked how, once again, certain things may not make sense in the movie at the time, but later on they do, and you're like, oh, okay, it's not a huge twist per se, but it's a really, really good, aha moment.
It's also, every single character has a moment you appreciate.
Yeah.
The billionaire has a few that, in regards I came here to celebrate, and I celebrate with you all.
Yeah.
But now I'm here to mourn with you. And honestly, it felt, and it was genuine. Like, you could feel the guy doing it. And there's also some other moments where characters do things, and you're like, oh, they're going pure evil. They're they have some kind of evil.
This is a stupid decision.
No, it's a smart decision, and people are acting like no one wants to get in the water.
Yeah.
Everyone's avoiding it, and there are situations that people make mistakes, but people do it for the right reasons. It's not because, oh, I'm an idiot, I'm doing this for the wrong reason. It's person does it trying to help because maybe they don't know anywhere else, or they know there's a lack of time.
Let's be 100% honest though. This movie is dumb in certain aspects.
Yes.
And how certain sequences play out, or the fact that how people get in the water is really stupid. And Jason Statham himself, the intro, by the way, is fantastic, but you know where it's going to go, and like sometimes it's like, okay, pick up the pace. We know you're fine with getting back in the water, so let's get you back in the water. Like, we've seen you in the trailer, let's hurry this up.
The other counterpoint was there is going to be a suspension disbelief because, like, the watercraft and, like, where the ecosystem they go, which is, like, this cool-looking underwater sequence. That's the thing. CGI is good in this movie. There's some shots where, great, but it's...
Oh, wow, that's visually pleasing. For a blockbuster, I'm like, okay. And underwater, it's tough to get a lot of light, so it's hard to see, per se. They do a really good job of making sure you can see parts that they want you to see and not see parts they don't want you to see for maximum effect, if that makes sense.
Yep. And that's why when people were like down in this movie, I went in with low expectations. But when it comes to the monster is entertaining. When it comes to the comedy, there are a lot of good little jokes in this movie.
Yep.
And when it comes to the main character, Jason Statham pulls this movie.
Yeah.
He really does. You feel for the character.
This is a better version of Rampage. This is the Rampage movie I wanted, where it knew what it was and made fun of itself, and it wasn't so goddamn stupid that it was stupid. It is stupid, but it knew it was stupid. Rampage thought it was smart, but it was actually really dumb. This movie knows it's dumb, and it plays on that, so that way it pretty much counteracts the audience's anticipation of the film and what's going on.
Again, even, I will even say in regards to, like, I'm not going to spoil, but even, like, how they kill the creatures, like, or the creature in regards to the ending. It's like, okay, you could have done, like, giant explosion, but I like this different take. It was cool. Like, there's different ways that happen with the monster dying, happen with how characters die in some situations, and again, it's a really good movie. It's cheese, but it can take itself serious. It's everything I like, and that's why
it's roughly a 2-hour film that I enjoyed the entire way through, and I wish there was more.
Yeah,
like at the end of this movie, I wanted another one.
I want to see that. Yeah, I want this guy back for the trench.
Yes,
because the whole sequel is there's like other creatures down there, which are like the things from like Jurassic World, the sea creature. Imagine those.
If you really like the Mosasaur from Jurassic World, and you want to see its own movie and actually have a full potential, goddamn support this film, because that's what kind of stuff you would see hopefully in the sequel. But
listen, the sequel rates itself.
Yeah,
dinosaur versus giant shark. I mean, Asylum can't get any better. Like that.
But let's get to a final rating before
Asylum's wet dream.
Because again, I would say the special effects were actually adequate to good. I would say nothing amazing, but I will say the first sequence in the trench looked great.
Yes,
and that was like surprising. I was like, oh wow. Some shots of the shark look a little bit fake or a little bit cheesy, but once again, you accept it and it works. And especially because a lot of it's underwater, it was actually surprising. The music's pretty good.
Yes.
There was no beat on like, oh, this is boring or stupid. All the characters are great. Even the portions where they have in Chinese are actually well done. And they have a lot of, again, similarities to Jaws. It's just set a little bit in China. And it makes sense why it's set in China, unlike Transformers or other films that they just hand-fist a Chinese presence in the film.
I have many problems when it comes to, like, the international. When they try to force it, like Iron Man 3 in the milk situation.
But like this and Pacific Rim do it well.
This situation, it was integrated and it was like believable. It's like,
yep,
you don't like. I had no issue. In fact, all the characters I enjoyed. There was not a single character I was like, oh god, he's on screen. No, it was all great.
Yep.
So that's why for me, I got to give this a 7 out of 10. This movie is the Jumanji of the summer, and I hope it does well for it because it's just a fun event. It's like a fun, action-packed shark movie. And whereas that was an action-packed...
Oh, it's also funny. We forgot to mention, this movie actually has some good comedic shots.
But it is some pretty good jokes.
And that 8-year-old, god damn, that child actor has some great lines. And just knows how to, like, just keep on the joke a little bit longer.
Yep.
But, yeah, so 7 out of 10. I agree with that. It's a fun, dumb movie, but it's the perfect fun, dumb movie
for the summer. It is. If you want this isn't Mad Max Fury Road.
No.
This is a dumb shark movie.
Yep.
But it is one you're going to leave with a smile on your face and feeling entertained.
Yep.
And it's not like, and I will say this, when it comes, and I know I said this before with Solo, that movie I walked out with like a smile, like, it wasn't bad. This movie I walked out, I was like glowing. This one was like, yeah, that was a fun time. I would recommend that.
When you can sit back and talk with friends for about, I don't know, a half hour just based on this movie about like things you like, I think that's a good sign.
Yep.
So in any case, that's our impression, non-spoiler. Now to get into spoilers, the initial so the movie starts off. Jason Statham loses 2 crew members
trying to rescue a nuclear submarine that's in the depths of the deepest parts of the ocean.
The only issue I have with that, the entire sequence was done really well, was the fact that because they show that this the trench has like a thin layer that keeps a very cold temperature, which stops creatures from going up. So if they hit that cold, they can't survive it, so they have to go back down.
Yep.
So what they do is when a large sphere of air or something like
it was a volcanic vent. It was like superheated water went through. Yeah. The shark followed and got out.
They're like, oh shoot, I can get out of here finally, and gets out. And it's like, oh my god, there's so much
I think it was following the sub because they said the sub came up and then the shark came up.
I think it was, but funny enough, there's 2 sharks. You have medium shark, which is probably like 40 feet long. Yeah, then you have super shark, which is like 80 feet long.
Yep. Yeah. It was really big, and they allude to it too.
Yeah.
Like if you go back and watch this movie with the note of there are 2 sharks.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Like there's no like weird thing because you see the massive shark, and that's the one you see in the trailer, bites the glass.
Yep.
Or the other one is just like smaller, and it's doing this thing.
I also like how they have a sequence with a cage, and it's like he can't break the cage. Yeah, he can't break the cage. He's gonna swallow the cage.
Yeah,
because sharks are known for swallowing like anything, or eating anything. Tiger sharks specifically, not to mention in Jaws.
I think it would have choked on it, but I also did like.
That's hilarious to me. It's just like, I'm going to eat you. I don't care.
Yeah, these things are super aggressive, and again, difference from like The Quiet Place for me in this movie is I didn't have to be like, oh, it's this alien is invulnerable to everything.
It's a mad shark.
I was like, it's a giant shark. Bullets aren't gonna hurt. Like bullets aren't gonna hurt it too much.
Yeah.
But it can still die to normal stuff, like the poison.
Yeah.
They literally poisoned it in the mouth, and it's like, how much should we give me? 10 cc's can knock out a killer whale. 20 cc's can kill it. And the guy's like, just use the whole damn bottle. Like, there's a lot of like nice little quips and whatnot.
An issue though I found was when they kill the small shark or the smaller megalodon, and the bigger one grabs it off and flips the boat, which was also a really good sequence.
Yeah.
The fact that they were able to just leave, that was an issue for me. I figured
it had a giant shark to eat.
But no, it came back to kill Morrison. It was Dr. Midway or whatever.
It did, and also remember it chased them after a while.
Okay.
It did give chase.
Okay. But then I also like the guy, like, I called a helicopter, they got a rifle, that was the best they could do in short notice. They're like, they're just going to shoot the shark so it doesn't follow us the rest of the way.
Yeah, the shark got shot with a few bullets, and everyone just looking at him like, why didn't you get something bigger? It's like, dude, they had a helicopter and there was a gun on the platform. That was all I could get. Like,
yeah, and it's like, okay. And then I also like, again, after that line my brother mentioned about him mourning with the crew, he's like, I already let a lot of countries know they're going to send 2 destroyers and kill it. No, he's lying. He doesn't want liability. But but here's the thing.
He still does the right thing.
He goes himself and does it. He goes with his own paramilitary force and does it himself because, like, it's my responsibility. I don't want a lawsuit, but it's my responsibility.
Also, he does one of the smartest things I will say for anyone. It's the double tap.
Yeah.
You always double tap.
He's like, drop another one. Sir, it's dead. Drop another one. They're dropping depth charges, and they see something, and a carcass comes up, and they're like, keep dropping it. I want bits and pieces.
They have a tracker on it. Yeah. And then they cut to the guy who has literally, like, you can tell it's blubber all over him, but obviously they don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was.
He goes over, and this is the one issue. People keep falling off boats and getting in the water.
Yep.
That's my one issue with, like, okay, this is getting really stupid. But it gets to a point where a random helicopter crash makes people jump into the water. But which is really nice and which is really great is the fact he's then left and he's looking around. He sees the shark coming for him, so he starts swimming. And of course, like a smart person, you swim away from the rotting giant whale carcass because that's what the shark is gonna go for. But in any case, no, he tries to climb on it. Shark grabs it, bites it. You think he's dead? No, he's alive. A piece of the whale's gone. He's like, yeah! Starts climbing up. Shark goes in for round 2. You see his hand come down with a knife.
There's like a little twitch.
Yeah.
Which that did make me laugh.
There's a lot of blood in this film, but it's not human blood per se. It's a lot of fish blood, which I'm like, okay, good job, MPA. I could have literally multiple swimming pools full of blood. As long as I call it fish blood, I'm fine.
Yep. But no, I think we're going on a little bit of a little long with this. We do recommend it. There's a lot of good things.
There's a cool mini submarine chase sequence with the Megalodon. The whole sequence with them trying to rescue, which I think was actually pretty cool. There's a love interest, but it's not really that forced.
Also, they have the ex-wife in this movie, and they've not brought back together, which I appreciated.
He's there to be like, the ex-wife was the reason why he went down there, because he still cares about her, but it's like, I'm not enough we're not getting back together. I just need to save you. And I like that. And I like how they still have a little bit of chemistry. So, again, it has a lot of good moments. And once again, Jason Statham is just... He knows what he's in for, and he just nails it. And just good on you, Jason Statham. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for a fantastic movie. I think this is my favorite movie he's been in.
Okay, so I really like the Fast and Furious films by how he's portrayed. And he's been in a few others... smaller films.
He has, and I haven't seen too many. I'll be honest, I haven't not seen the Fast and Furious movies.
Spy,
I've not seen
I also
too
like
many
his
of his
portrayal in
films.
Spy. That's just me. I haven't seen the Transporter series in a while, and Crank I haven't seen, but I know those are the movies that kind of built him up to be a major action star. So right now he's considered one of the most if you put him in a film, you're almost guaranteed to earn money like The Rock. So he's up there, and I'm like, awesome for you,
After
man.
this movie, I can't blame them if they do it.
That's why I want that Hobbs and Shaw, I think, film would be for Fast and Furious.
Totally.
Because it's just The Rock and Statham. That's it. No one else.
How old is Jason Statham? What, in the 50s?
50, I think. 51, around there.
Okay.
Again, he's getting up there. But that being said, he's
still badass.
He's still doing really well for himself.
But in any case, that is our review, spoiler and all, of The Meg. Go watch it. Highly recommend it. And we will see you all next time with our next review, which is...
probably either Christopher Robin or Happy Time Murders will probably be the next big review.
Boy,
just completely separate.
Those couldn't be more connected.
Cute stuffed animals and cute stuffed puppets having sex. I mean, it just flows naturally between the two.
Maybe not in the way that you'd want.
Yeah, but in any case, we'll see you all next time.
See you guys next time. I gotta go get an image out of my head.
Hello everyone, and before you guys go, you can check out a previous video on the top left-hand corner, a random video that may be recommended to you on the right-hand side. Below is Patreon supporters that help support this very channel, including Leo, Tim, Aaron, Nathan, Michael, Ace, Joey, Ollie, Sergeant McPain, and White Hot D. Thank you guys so much for your awesome support. You guys rock. This has been Greyshot 17, and I'll see you all next time.